Good evening. Welcome to the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting for the City of Hendersonville, Tennessee. We appreciate those of you that are here. This is June 9th, 2026. It's just a little bit past 7 p.m. We're going to start our meeting as we typically do. That's with a prayer, followed by the pledge. And our person who's providing our prayer tonight is Casey Casmerzel. He is the Community Outreach and First Impressions Director of the Adult Ministry Team at First Baptist Church in Hendersonville. Casey, we appreciate very much what you, your team, what the staff of First Baptist have been doing for Hendersonville, and what the whole congregation has been doing for Hendersonville we're getting close to 80 years, I think. So we appreciate it very much, and we'll ask you to lead us off in prayer. Mayor, I'm sorry.
Local dentist.
Okay.
He needs prayer.
Casey, could you include that?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for another day that we get to walk upon your creation. Thank you so much that we have the freedom to assemble, to discuss freely things for the city. God, I'm so thankful just for that freedom alone, because we know that not everybody gets to enjoy that. God, right now I just specifically want to lift up Bill Taylor. We may not know what exactly he needs, but God, you know exactly what he needs, what his family needs, and God, it's reassuring that nothing surprises you. You have always, currently, and will always be at the helm of this world. So we take relief that nothing catches you off by surprise, and just again lift up Bill Taylor. God, I pray that your wisdom would pour out upon this BOMA meeting tonight. God, let the conversations in this chamber be a good reflection of you and conversations that you would delight in. And God, ultimately, we thank you so much. Send your son Jesus to die on a cross to bridge the gap between us and you. So thank you so much for the suffering that your son endured to save us and to just give us an opportunity to live in eternity with you. So God, thank you so much for your son. Thank you so much for our country and our city. And thank you just for this day today, and we just ask you for one more day tomorrow. God, we love you so much. Amen.
Thank you. And again, that's Casey Casmerzel. He's the Community Outreach and First Impressions Director of the Adult Ministry Team at First Baptist Church. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Please join me with the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. I'm going to entertain a motion that we accept the agenda that was provided to you. We have a motion from Alderman Sassy and a second from Alderman Dixon. Do we have any discussion or any suggestions? Alderman Skidmore.
Yes, thank you tonight. Thank you, Mayor. I would like to also, if it's okay with the board, to waive the 2-week rule on the of the ordinance 2026-08, which was amending the Personnel Rules and Regulations Policy Section 4 relative to a public safety assistant. I would like to do that this evening and put that on the agenda for first reading.
Okay, so is this a resolution or an ordinance, Alderman Skidmore?
Yes, sir. Thank you. It is an ordinance, so okay. It'll take 2 readings.
Okay.
Second.
So we have a motion from Alderman Skidmore, a second from Alderman Bergdorf. Any discussion on this item? Go ahead, Alderman Dixon.
Yes, I was in public safety in which this was discussed tonight. I am not ready to vote on this. There are a lot of still unanswered questions, and the majority of the aldermen up here have not seen the ordinance itself or had an opportunity to ask questions to the staff or other aldermen. So I won't be voting no.
Alderman Dixon, thank you. Do we have copies of this? Okay. Alderman Sassy.
Thank you, Mayor. I was in the meeting as well, but I concur with Alderman Dixon. That had really been the first time I'd seen it, and I would need more time to discuss it and just look over it myself and investigate. I'm just not ready to vote on it either. I think I need some more time.
Alderman Sassy, thank you. Alderman Martin.
I think for the first time, I'm going to agree with Karen Dixon on this one.
Thank you, Alderman Morton. Jason? Any other comments? So we have a motion, a second, to add ordinance 2026-08 to the agenda. Alderman Skidmore, I assume we would make it item number 4 under ordinance and resolutions? Yes. Okay. So all those in favor, press the green button. Those opposed, press the red button. So that fails 5 to 8, those voting in favor. Alderman Bergdorf, Skidmore, Goodwin, Garten, and Evans. Those voting opposed, Alderman Ward, Martin, Sassy, Garza, myself, Alderman Dixon, Collins, and Robertson. Thank you, Jason. Thank you all. Any other discussion, any other proposals for our agenda? So right now, we're just dealing with the agenda that was provided to you in your packet with no changes. All those in favor of approving the agenda that was provided to you, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say no. That passes unanimously. Thank you all. Next, we have no presentations. We do have a public hearing. This is a public hearing on ordinance 2026-07 to hear comments on adopting the annual budget and tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2026 and ending June 30th, 2027. We have nobody signed up for that, so we're going to move on to the minutes. You were provided the minutes in your packet. Those were from our May 26, 2026 BOMA meeting. Any discussion? I need a motion and a second, please. We have a motion from Alderman Evans and a second from Alderman Robertson. Any discussion on that? All those in favor of approving the minutes that were provided to you for our May 26, 2026 meeting, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say no. That passes unanimously. Thank you all. Next, we have citizen comments. We have one person signed up, and the speakers must identify themselves by name and address. Public comment shall be limited to 5 minutes per person, which time is not transferable to other speakers. All comments are to be directed to the presiding officer, not to aldermen, city staff, or other members of the public. Comments must address issues, not individuals or personalities. Personal attacks shall not be tolerated. Comments may support or oppose particular issues or measures, but the motives of those with differing views shall not be questioned or attacked. Malicious comments will not be allowed. Speeches for or against particular candidates running for office are not allowed. We have Mark Harrington on Laurel Lane.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Again, my name's Mark Harrington. I live at 114 Laurel Lane here in Hendersonville. I've lived in Hendersonville for about the past 12, 14 years. Tonight, I'm here to let the City Council in on a problem that has been going on since November involving the Hendersonville Police Department. I have a timeline of events starting November the 16th. There was a gathering at my home. My children, the ones that you see sitting before you, was assaulted in their front yard. 2 individuals got in a car and went after this car to get a license plate number. This individual pulled a firearm on these kids. The police department was contacted. They come out, said that these children was the reason that a handgun was pulled driving down the road. Okay? I don't understand it. The very next day, this same vehicle was found sitting at Sonic. A license plate picture was taken. The police department was called to give that information to. When the officer arrived, he got out of his car and laughed and said, "Y'all don't give up." No action was taken. Several days after that, now I've got home video cameras just like everybody else. These young gentlemen was hanging out in the parking lot. This same young lady that pulled a handgun on these children called her dad and her boyfriend and said that she was being harassed. A father and another adult male chased these young men to my driveway. One got out of a pickup truck in front of my home with a long gun. The other got out beside my driveway, right beside my mailbox, with a handgun, threatening 8 teenagers. Police was called. Nothing was done. Nothing. They was the ones that aggravated these adults to pull handguns at my home. To go on, I've sent Chief Jones emails. I've contacted administration of the police department. Every time I complain to the leadership of the police department, those gentlemen and the kids that hang out at my address, they're targeted. They're pulled over. They're retaliated against. And I've had enough. So, moving on. These young men hang out with a group of kids around this city. We live right by Glenbrook. The favorite hangout place is Target. That's where most of these kids hang out at. PD pulls up, they run them off, tell them they can't beat there. I've got it stated, I've went too far, I've went as far as to tell these kids every time they get presented with or talked to by the police department to video record on their personal cell phones. I've bought dash cameras to put in vehicles, so everything is on video and everything is audio recorded. It was stated by one police officer that when they arrived at Target, that when 911 calls, we, the Hendersonville Police Department, target teenagers with flashy trucks and big wheels. Ladies and gentlemen, last time I recall, I don't think just because you have a big truck with flashy wheels, that should not put a target on your back for a teenager. I don't care who you are or what you done. A lot of these kids, that's what they invest their money in. I know 3 of mine do. They work hard. That's what they got to show for their hard-earned money, is that nice truck and them flashy wheels. It should not allow our police department to put a target on their back. Again, May 20, there was something else that's going on there. I filed multiple written complaints and multiple verbal complaints against this police department and these officers targeting these children. I get the same response. We will look into it. 10 to 14 days after the complaint is filed, they're targeted yet again. It's a one group of police officers. There's a lot of great police officers in this city, a lot of great ones. One of them sitting right there. But there's also some bad ones here that's creating a problem, that the reason I'm here tonight. Leading up to...
Mr. Harrington, 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. Can I have an extension of my time?
No.
Well, it's led up to that this one officer has targeted my son to be falsely arrested and not looked at all the evidence for his arrest. I filed a complaint, and we're dealing with that now. I'm asking the
Mr. Harrington, thank you. Next item we have on the agenda is our consent agenda, which involves a receive and file item. Jesse, can you explain the process that we typically do that and what we need to do at this point?
Yeah, so for minor edits to the personnel rules and regs, we determined that we would go as a receive and file to the general committee. And so we had one of those minor clarifying edits that we wanted to make. We don't have general committee meeting tonight, so we're bringing it to the full board for a receive and file. It's just clarifying some language in the personnel rules and regs to make it more clear.
Appreciate that. Any questions, since we didn't have a general committee, any questions about this item? Appreciate that. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you all. Next one, ordinances, resolutions. We have second reading of ordinance 2026-07. This is an ordinance of the City of Hendersonville, Tennessee, adopting the annual budget and tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2026, and ending June 30th, 2027.
So moved.
We have a motion from Alderman Garza and a second from Alderman Dixon. Any discussion? Oh, yes. Tamara, we need you. I mentioned to y'all by email the other day that typically we end up with sort of a wrap-up amendment when we get to the second reading, because when we prepare this ordinance about 5 weeks ago. And we've had some changes that have happened, some adjustments that need to be made, and so we have an ordinance here. Alderman Skidmore, do you want to ask about this, or do you want to ask about the general budget? I saw you hit your button. What do you?
Oh, no, I'm just, no, keep going.
Okay.
It's not anything that's, there's gonna be any argument about,
Okay.
believe it or not.
Okay. So,
It's not over there.
so I'm going to ask Tamara, our finance director, to explain these 6 items. I'm going to propose, when she finishes, I'm going to propose that we adopt them as a group of 6. You are welcome to ask me to separate those. The first 4 tend to go in a category together. There is no change in our bottom line with our first 4. The last two do include changes to our bottom line. So perhaps we do the first 4 and then the last 2, or the first 4 and then number 5 and number 6, something like that. Ideally, we could do all 6 together, but let's hear from Tamara first.
Okay, I'm just going to walk through each of the 6 amendments so that you know what you're looking at. The first one was really a clerical oversight, and it is on page 196 of your BOMA packet, replacing the schedule that's there with the one titled number 1 that's in the handout that you just received. The tennis coordinator position was inadvertently left off of that list of reclassified positions on the initial submission. And then the second item is replacing the salary tables that are effective February 22nd, 2027. On pages 107 through 114 of the BOMA packet, replacing those with the packet of salary tables that are labeled number 2 on here. When those were calculated in the system, it read 0.5% as 0.05%, and so it was calculated incorrectly. The budgetary numbers were calculated correct, but the salary table that was presented needed to be updated. And then on page 78 of the packet, line 9, requesting to change the project description to be for playground renovations as opposed to parking lot resealing in the parks. And that is to address some concerns that were brought up by our insurance carrier related to playground equipment safety. There's no impact to funding. It's just instead of funding $45,000 for parking lot sealing, it's $45,000. That's for doing some repairs and upgrades on those playground equipment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Renovations.
That's in multiple, it's in multiple locations throughout the city.
Okay.
The fourth item is on page 78 of your packet, and that is to add a new special project in the general fund related to a cybersecurity grant that the police department has received. The amendment is going to include $78,404 being added to the revenue as well as the expenditure side. It's a 100% funded grant, so there's no impact to the general fund.
I'm sorry, Alderman Sassy.
For that one, is this a recurring annual expense or is this a one-time expense?
It's a one-time expense.
Thank you.
And then item number 5, that is on updating line, or page 79, line 7 of the BOMA packet to increase the funding for the Drakes Creek Maintenance Shop project by $336,646. The total amount of that will be an impact to the general fund. It will be using unassigned fund balance in the general fund. That is due to overall inflation and the bids coming in high on that project. And then the last item on here is amending page 39 of your BOMA packet, line 22, and that is to add $1,500 for the America 250th celebration, and that will result in a reduction of the general fund operating surplus, bringing that surplus to $11,896.
Alderman Sassy.
Thank you. So for number 5, is that relating to number 8, which is relocation of maintenance shop
Yes,
of line 78? So
yes.
relocating the maintenance shop was originally costing almost $1 million, and we're now seeing an additional $330,000 on that. Is that correct?
Yes, but I think Jesse has some additional information beyond that.
Yeah, so we went out to bid, we got actual bid numbers, we had put an estimate in, and this is not even to complete all of it, so this is the majority of it. We're in temporary buildings right now, so this would get us to where our guys in our operations shop could be in the new buildings. It gets all the site work done, but then there's a couple other little buildings where we'd park like our tractors and things of that nature that we'd have to do the next year. So we've tried several different ways with the way we went out and got our bids to do this as economically as possible. I think we found that solution. It just was, we had underestimated what the cost was going to be by the time we bring sewer in, water in, stormwater, grading, the concrete, and all the things that have to happen. the cost of it to get our guys out of the temporary shop and up there is higher than we anticipated. So this does the bulk of the work, and then next year we'd come and put a couple other little buildings up and do the pavement.
And when is this expected, this portion of it expected to be done?
We would get started on it as soon as the budget's approved. We already have a contract in place, so for the site work, we can contract it through an existing contract that we have. And so we just go ahead and start that work almost immediately.
And it's a large building, right? It's around, what is it, 8,000, 10,000 square feet?
Yeah, there's
something like that?
actually, there's 5 buildings, so this would give us the main buildings though where the
Yeah.
guys would actually be housed at. So it's a lot of square footage. Buildings are expensive. The site work is extremely expensive, but we've done competitive bids, and this is the least expensive way that we can do it.
And how old is this building?
How old are the buildings now? Oh, I
Yeah,
think they were like the Fred Flintstone era, so
Yeah.
they've been around for a while.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah, and it gets it out of the flood zone.
What's that?
It gets it out of the floodplain.
Yeah, all right, thank you. Yeah, this is a necessary, necessary expense. I mean, it's expensive, but it's gonna have, the changes we're making now are going to add many, many, many years to this, to the location and to that, building.
It does, and then it frees up the space where the buildings are currently at to be used for something else. And this is a non-operating expense, so it won't go against our operating budget. This is a one-time non-operating.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Sassy. Alderman Evans?
Yeah, same question, just a clarification. So Alderman Sassy pointed out, I think in your notes here it says number 7, but you really mean number 8.
No, line 7 is the general fund portion of that project. Line 8 is the PIP fund. We're recommending, it's in there, line 7, which is the general fund.
I'm sorry, I'm not following. It's, because it says, in number 5, it says amend page 79. I'm looking at page 79, it says line 7. And line 7 says DC Shop Design and Geotech.
Yeah, it was originally for the, that's the Drakes Creek Park shop. And that line was originally the geotech and the design. We're extending that to be the site work piece of it as well. And that's the general fund portion. That project started in the general fund, then we moved it to the PIP fund. So this is adding it back into that general fund line.
Okay, I guess what I need help with is, what are the numbers changing to? It says that we're increasing it by 336,646, but what is the number now?
That line.
Are we talking about, again, I'm trying to get an idea of, what are we talking about for this maintenance shop project? What's the total amount that we're talking about? How much is in 26? How much is in 27? And then also, what is that doing to our general fund? You say this is coming from
From the unassigned fund balance.
unassigned, but what is that doing with our, what we're wanting to keep as far as our unassigned amount, and what does that do to the balance that we're supposed to have in there of the 17% roughly?
Yeah, absolutely. So for fiscal year '26, our year that we're in right now, we started the year with roughly 1.2 million budgeted for that project between the general fund and the PIP fund.
Okay,
And so fiscal year '27 is rebudgeting the portion that hasn't been spent yet for that. Plus, this amendment is now recommending to add 336,000 and some change. The bottom line, as far as the unassigned fund balance, with this amendment included, we have about $4.1 million more in the unassigned fund balance than what is the recommended 17%,
is that before making this change or after making this change?
after making this
Okay,
change.
so the 15.5 unassigned recognizes that 336 is taken out of that?
No, so what you have in front of you does not, so it goes from the 15.5, it goes down to, call it 15.2.
Okay,
And then that, for the unassigned fund balance. So that leaves us a difference between the unassigned fund balance after this is taken into account, less the recommended amount of unassigned that we should have on hand, of about $4.1 million.
okay.
You can ask her.
Alderman Evans, anything else?
Oh, I'm sorry, no.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Alderman Robertson?
Yeah, and this, I think all of us agree this building needs to be replaced. It's pretty high up on the facility assessment, isn't it, Jesse? It's in the top 5, I think, of what needs to be replaced. Okay, and just to reiterate what Alderman Evans mentioned, with all of the changes that were being made, we're still gonna have 15 million, approximately 200,000 in the unassigned fund balance.
Yes, sir.
And what is required is approximately 11 million by the comptroller.
Yes,
So, with these changes, there should be no problem with the comptroller agreeing to our budget.
correct.
Okay. Let me see if there's, no, that's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Alderman Robertson, thank you. Alderman Collins.
Okay, on the first one, the clerical amendment, it says it's on page 196, but we don't have that many pages. Can you help me find that, please? I see the photocopy.
It was, I think it was the previous packet that was 196.
Yeah.
Give me just 1 second. Oh, I apologize. It's on page 106.
Okay. Thank you, Tamara. I actually have some questions for Director Gilly about this. If I can read it.
Yes, ma'am.
Director Gilly, I would like for you to help me understand what the jobs of recreational coordinator and tennis coordinator do and how they're similar and how they're different from one another.
The tennis coordinator is over all our programming at tennis. He supervises the kids that work out there and a couple of the adults that give lessons and do camps. That's a part-time position. The recreation coordinator is also part-time. That would be the person who is in charge of all our special needs programming and supervises all of those workers under her. Like right now, she has 16 or 17 working summer camp with 30 special needs kids and some over the age of 18, plus all the leagues throughout the year. Again, that part-time.
They're both part-time positions.
Correct.
Would you say that the level of responsibility is similar to one another?
I would say it's different types of responsibilities, but they're both have a high degree of responsibility for part-time employees especially.
Why did we reclassify, or are we about to, I guess I should say, reclassify tennis and not the recreational coordinator?
That's probably a question for the pay consultant and Mr. Gallo. From my understanding, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, their basis, and you correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm remembering, because I will tell you, I did argue with her a little bit on this for a while. Her recommendation was because the tennis coordinator had to have a certification to give tennis lessons from like the USTA, and the way the recreation coordinator position was written, it didn't technically have to have a certification of any type, even though it's over our special needs programming. So like it's not written in the job description that we have to hire a certified special needs instructor, so to speak.
Is that a
If
certification that exists?
That's pretty much, from my understanding, that was
Is that
literally the only difference.
Is that a certification that exists?
Other than an actual teacher, I don't know of like a special needs
Okay.
camp certification you
Okay.
could get personally. We're one of few cities that even has this person or these programs at the level we do anyway.
Director Gallo, would you like to Stay close, please.
So I think Director Gelly said it pretty well. The response that I did get from the consultant was that it is, her reasoning was solely based off of the qualifications. The recreation coordinator only requires a high school diploma and 1 to 2 years of experience working with children. Where in contrast, the tennis coordinator has to hold the professional certification, demonstrate a skill level of 4.0 or higher through that organization, and also have officiating experience and direct experience working with tennis participants. So it had more robust requirements than the recreation coordinator. That's why she recommended it.
Okay. And now I have a question for Tamara. And I'm sorry that I didn't ask you about this ahead of time, but could you do a guesstimate about what the budget impact would be if we change the recreational coordinator to a GE 12?
I do not know. I would have to go back and do an analysis on that to look up their current pay and calculate based on the hours that they typically work. So I don't have a number to put on that.
Thank you.
Alderman Collins, anything else?
No.
Alderman Garza, do you wish to make a motion to amend your earlier motion to add these 6 as a one amendment?
Yes.
Okay, do we have a second from, okay. So Alderman Garza and Alderman Sassy. So right now, we're going to consider all 6 of these together. Any discussion on these? All those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say no. That passes unanimously. Thank you. So we've amended the budget tonight one time. I think we did it one time 2 weeks ago. And now we're back on the main motion for second reading of the budget. All those in favor of ordinance 2026-07 as we've amended it, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say no. That passes unanimously. Thank you all. Now we're on to second reading of resolution 2026-21, a resolution amending the personnel rules and regulations of the city of Hendersonville. We have a motion from Alderman Sassy and a second from Alderman Garza. Any discussion on this item? Tamara, Jason, anything we need to add, anything we need to explain on this one? I know it went through committee and had a good amount of discussion on that. Okay. All those in favor of resolution 2026-21, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say no. That passes unanimously. Thank you all. Next, we have brief committee reports. Public Safety, Chairman Goodwin.
Oops. We had 2 citizens' comments. We had a reading of ordinance 2026-08 that was referred to BOMA with a positive recommendation to bring our assistant fire chief and police chief up to where they needed to be. We had a discussion on 2 grants for HFD that were 90-10. We had a motion that we voted with a positive recommendation for those to come forward. We had a discussion on e-bikes, and we had a discussion about the ranks in the fire department that the union and the firefighters are concerned with, and the chief is concerned with. We had a brief discussion on promotions with skipping ranks, and you will be hearing back from Public Safety and us on all of that, since that has been worked on for over a year. Thank you.
Chairman Goodwin, thank you. Alderman Martin, Planning Commission.
Thank you. We had a short meeting, and I love how this is a short meeting, so I'd rather mow my lawn in a Speedo than have to read a long report, so this will be great. We've got Forest Park Phase 8 and 9, preliminary plat. Savannah Phase 9, preliminary plat. And then the Center Point Church parking lot site plan, we grouped those together and passed it all 8-0. We did have a site plan review. This is Saundersville Station solar lights. The issue was they wanted a waiver to install solar-powered lights because I guess the developer forgot to install the infrastructure for it. So that was passed 8-0 on the waiver. Staff level projects pending, Pate subdivisions, lots 49, 50, and 51 at 129 Stadium Drive. CL Powell addition, lots 17 and 18, all at 134 Powell Drive. And Our Lady of the Lake Prayer Garden and Columbarium site plan located at 1729 Stop 30 Road. And then the TBN Millennia Cottages across the street, the final plat should be in soon. Planning Director comments. Keith Free updated the commissioners about the progress of the 124 Mansker Farms project. He informed commissioners that the planning department has been in communication with the applicant, and the project is progressing quicker than anticipated. And he's going to let the commissioners know. He let the commissioners know that a request for annexation would be on our next agenda in July. That's my report.
Alderman Martin, thank you. Jesse, our Bowman report.
That's an interesting way to mow the lawn. I've never done that, so I will, I'll try and keep my report short as well. If you go to page 131, that's where the BOMA report's going to start. You will see that sales tax is up 4.3% year to date. Our interest earnings are down a little bit compared to April of last year, about 16,000 down. And when you look at on page 132, when you look at local sales tax and permit revenue together, we're flat. So that's because we've seen more sales tax, but we've seen less permit revenue through residential and commercial activity. You will see that on page 132, our general fund operating expenditures are up 6.5%. And we're starting to see some of the invoices roll in, and we're paying for those from Looks Great, so that a storm debris cleanup is on there. So we're expecting next month to be high too as we finish up paying those bills. So that's one of the reasons the general fund operating expenditures are up. If you go to page 133 and 134, that's where we show the 0.5-cent sales tax, the PIP fund. Revenue and expenses are low, mainly due to the timing of the Heritage Park project. So when that project rolls on, we'll have a revenue and we'll have an expense associated with that because that's a grant project. So everything within the PIP fund is pretty much in line. If you go to page 135 and 136, we're going to see the fire department and the police department calls for service. Calls for service are up a little bit from last year. If you go to page 136, you'll see April and May have a lot more fires worked. If you go to that bottom left corner, a lot of that is for people who are doing like an open burn in their yard and they didn't get a permit for it, so those are counted as fires work. So not so much structure fires, but people are burning limbs in their yard, so that's what a lot of that is. If you go to page 137, you will see that residential permits issued continue to be low, so we're 7.8% lower than we were last year. Residential activity just is not as high. If you go to page 138, we list the specific projects broken down by commercial and residential that were approved. Nothing spectacular. I think Mr. Martin covered most of that in his report. On page 139, you'll see all our events for the month. And of note is the Hometown Jam, which is Friday, June 12th, and that's 5 p.m. at Veterans Park, and that is free. So I would highly recommend you guys try and make that. Not on the report, though, maybe even more exciting, is a deer workshop this Saturday at City Hall. So from 8:30 to 12:30 here at City Hall, we'll be set up in the front and we'll be set up in this room. There's going to be 3 sessions, education sessions that happen in this room. The USDA will be here from 9:30 to 10. They're going to do a presentation on the deer survey that they did, so that'll focus on the deer population in the city. From 10:15 to 10:45, TWRA will be here, and they're going to talk mainly about hunting in urban areas. And then from 11 to 11:45, we're going to have a panel discussion on landscaping in a deer-rich environment. So that should be interesting as well. So that's this Saturday here at City Hall. It's going to be open from 8:30 to 12:30. If you go to page 140, you will see our stormwater projects really got, we completed more than budgeted. That's because some rolled over from the previous year. So I told Trace he's just setting the bar too high for what we're going to expect for next year. We will see paving and lane miles jump up next month. I was expecting to see it sooner. We have a lot of streets that are milled right now, so we're going to have a lot of paving the last couple weeks of June. So we expect to see that jump up. That won't transmit to the next report that we do. Well, yeah, it will. I think it will, because we're going to be a month behind on this report, so you'll see that. And then if you go to page 141, really nothing new to report there. The vacancies in fire are 5 and police they're 1. And we are going to start our fire academy, our in-house fire academy, July 7th. So those guys will graduate September 25th. So those 5 vacancies should be filled by then. And of course, HPD is just continuing to fill their vacancies. So that concludes my report.
Jesse, Alderman Skidmore has a question for you.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. That Speedo thing has gotten me worked. I've been laughing about that since it was ever mentioned by my colleague from Ward 2, Alderman Martin. Gotta say, that's pretty funny. Oh, my gosh. Just a couple of quick comments to you in Public Works. When the rain does clear, check the potholes on Walton Ferry Road, because with the rain, the way that it has been now, it's sort of like washing things out. There's a lot of holes down there. I was out looking at a drainage problem a day ago, actually, when it was doing the real hard rain, and in Ward 1, and I looked out, and I about lost all my teeth when I was going down Walton Ferry Road. So if you would have them just check that out, Public Works, I sure would appreciate both of you guys take a look at it. And then also I want to thank the mayor and Jesse on the tree limb pickup, Mayor. I appreciate you getting another party to come in here, because it has been really, really bad in Ward 1. There are some things that hadn't been picked up in 2 months, and I know that for a fact, because I'm one of them.
Alderman Skidmore, for the sake of me being consistent.
Yes.
I've got to cut you off unless you want to add something to the agenda.
No, not at all. I just wanted to tell you that I thank you, and I want everybody to have a good evening.
Okay, thank you.
You got it.
Alderman
All right.
Robertson might have a question for you, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
No, I echo Vice Mayor Skidmore about the special pickup of trash, of limbs. And there's a lot of people in Autumn Creek that are very happy tonight.
Well, I will pass the compliment on to
Yes.
Trace and to
Yes.
Stephen, because I think the idea originated from Trace, and Stephen made it happen.
Yeah, that's great.
Alderman Robertson, thank you. Alderman Garza?
Yeah. Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn from Alderman Garza and a second from Alderman Dixon. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say no. That passes unanimously. Thank you all. Thank you all for your work tonight.